Okay, so thinking about screens, I like to use index cards sometimes because, or something that's going to limit the size, but is kind of similar in ratio to what I'm looking for. Just kind of helps me. You could also do little mock-ups using paper. You can just take some sheets of paper and cut them, bend them in thirds, and I'll show that maybe as an extra on how to do that. But if you have some index cards, or you can make some pieces of paper, fold them into this size, and think of a couple things. So one thing we talked about was just having a form. So there will need to be a form somewhere that takes people's name, first name, last name. So those will be fields. And then we're going to want phone number. And then we're going to want their email. And these are going to be required fields. So we'll have to decide how we're going to handle that. And let's see, what else might we want? Just maybe, you know, and I agree, 15 minutes, and maybe a link to rules, because some galleries have them. And one thing to think about with a form is you want to put as little on the form as you can get away with, because the more things people have to fill out, the more likely they are to just say, forget it, I'll go do something else. So we'll get this information from them, and then we want to have them pick a day and a time. So different ways to do this. So I might actually put that on another one just because it's a little easier. I can always fold it. So one thing you can do is just have a date, and you could list dates, or you can just say, let them pick a thing here, and that would load a picker for the date, the calendar, and they could pick one. And you can also, that way you can black out dates that aren't available or are full. So they choose a date, and then it might give them a list of times. So they could pick maybe PM, 3:30, 4 p.m., 4:30, and they could pick those available times. Another thing we want to put on here is the number of people in their party. And then make it possible for them to add more people too. So that's something to think about, because they may be bringing more than one person, and if you're trying to restrict the number of people attending, that's something. And then you may want to do a separate one for tours, if it's a tour group. I may want to deal with that differently, because it's just a lot to have a teacher try to type in 30 people. No, not right now. I may want to do some type of special upload feature or something. All right, so we're thinking this through. I think we're off to a real good start with some possible things, date and time, and then we also need some type of, they're gonna say, maybe then there's another thing about the rules, and maybe something else about, privacy and consent for photos or something. And then we might have a here, and they may need to pay. So so this would be the no. This would be the trying to think if it would be some type of add to cart, or what to call this. I think I might need to look around and see what else people call it, or maybe it's a next, something like that, because then they also, if it's paid, they're going to need to fill out their payment stuff. And then, you know, and then, you know, the forms of payment kind of thing and all that jazz. So we'll need to have some type of payment thing. And then maybe there's a coupon code field. And, okay. And then we'll want to give them some type of congrats screen. Congrats screen, and then it will have their details. And maybe we'll even have a QR code for their ticket. And then some more details. And then, you know, maybe even text alerts. And there we go. And okay. And that's just thinking about it, whether it be on a website or an app. There's more to think about than this, but I think this is a good start.